Hey everyone, and welcome to today's Explainer. We are diving headfirst into the high-stakes, hyper-fast world of quick commerce. We're going to unpack a massive strategic pivot at one of India's absolute largest delivery platforms, and really look at the intense business mechanics it takes to get your daily essentials to your front door in literally 10 minutes. Okay, let's dive into this. You know the drill, right? You tap a few buttons on your phone and boom, within 10 minutes, fresh produce is sitting right at your doorstep. It's almost like magic. But as we all know, the logistical nightmare required to actually pull this off is off the charts. It's an incredibly complex, highly capitalized operation. And right now, the strategies powering it, they are undergoing a massive tectonic shift. To really understand how this market is changing, we need to look at exactly who is steering the ship. So moving into Section 1, Meet the New Boss. Instamart is handing the reins over to a true heavyweight in the industry. Nandita Sinha, the former CEO of Myntra, has officially been appointed as the brand new CEO of Instamart, and she's set to take charge on August 3rd, 2026. Now, bringing in a seasoned consumer internet executive, especially someone with her specific background in fashion and lifestyle e-commerce, well, that isn't just your routine personnel change. It's a huge signal that the company is gearing up for a fundamentally different phase of business. Now, what's really interesting here is the stark contrast we're seeing between two totally distinct eras of company history. Incoming CEO Nandita Sinha is taking over from Amitesh Jha. And during Jha's tenure, his primary mandate was all about rapid expansion. It was essentially the era of a massive land grab, growing the footprint just as quickly as humanly possible. But as Sinha steps into the CEO role, she's facing an entirely different landscape. The sector is officially entering this new phase that's focused heavily on fierce competition and, most importantly, profitability. The days of growth at any cost, those are pretty much over. It's all about smart, sustainable margins now. Which brings us to Section 2, Inside the Dark Stores. To fully grasp this pivot toward profitability, we really have to translate all that corporate strategy into the real-world mechanics that actually power these deliveries. As you probably know, the absolute engine of this industry is the dark store. These hyperlocal, densely packed neighborhood fulfillment centers are literally the lifeblood of that 10-minute promise. They are the secret sauce. But here's the catch. Optimizing these localized hubs to actually squeeze out a viable profit margin is notoriously difficult. Let's zoom out a bit for Section 3, the quick commerce battlefield. Running hundreds of these hyperlocal fulfillment centers requires an unbelievable amount of capital. And the pressure right now is at an absolute boiling point. India's quick commerce industry just continues to attract incredibly heavy investment, and the market leaders are definitely not sitting still. Blinkit, Instamart, and Zepto are all aggressively expanding their dark store networks at breakneck speed. But get this, it's not just the dedicated startups anymore. The massive, deep-pocketed giants, we're talking Amazon and Flipkart, have also stepped up their quick commerce services. This creates an unbelievably crowded, high-pressure environment where competitive tension is just ratcheting up across every single inch of the market. Literally, everyone wants to own your neighborhood. Let's move to Section 4 and see how this builds into the shift to profitability. So, with all these massive players fighting tooth and nail for the exact same customers, how do you actually win? Well, take a look at this really powerful executive endorsement from Sri Harsha Majety, the managing director and group CEO of Swiggy, which is Instamart's parent company. When announcing this big leadership change, he stated, "Nandita is one of India's most accomplished consumer internet leaders, and I'm enthusiastic about the vision, customer obsession, and operational rigor she brings to the team we have built at Instamart." That is a very deliberate choice of words, tailored perfectly for a market that is rapidly shifting away from reckless growth. So the crucial point is exactly how these three specific traits break down as weapons for this highly competitive new phase. First up, you have vision. That's the ability to see where the market is going way before the competitors do. Second is customer obsession, which is absolutely vital for retaining users in a market where they can so easily switch over to Amazon or Zepto with just one tap on their screen. But number 3, that is the real clincher, operational rigor. When you are dealing with incredibly thin margins and the sky-high costs of running all those dark stores, operational rigor is exactly what separates the companies that survive from the ones that burn through their cash and totally collapse. Which leaves us with this final burning thought. As the quick commerce battlefield reaches a total fever pitch, we have to ask, in the battle for instant delivery, will operational rigor ultimately win out over rapid expansion? As Nandita Sinha takes the helm to navigate this profitability-focused era, The entire industry is going to be watching very closely to see if tightening the belt is the true secret to winning the 10-minute delivery war. Thank you so much for joining me for today's explainer. Keep asking those great questions, and I'll catch you next time.